Krishna Hare Gopis. Hari Hari Bol.
Six Goswamis of Vrindavan, in his treatise, in his beautiful, beautiful book called Tattva Sandarpa, proves Bhagavatam is the scripture at this time of Kali Yuga that can be relied on, because there's so many commentaries on it, beautiful commentaries of very, very elevated souls. Lots of other scriptures are actually being tweaked or changed or lost. So in his very, very big work called Tattva Sandarpa, Jiva Goswami says that Srimad Bhagavatam is the book we should refer to. You know, there's only contradiction. So this is why, like in my confusion as well, in my bewilderment at some point, when I was studying this subject, I referred to Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is where I found all the answers, so which I'm going to share with you, hopefully, and I'll do my bit, and then hopefully we'll have a few questions from you. So we'll start with the Mantra. Namo Vishnu Krishna Krishna Buddhesha Devotee Swami Namaste Saraswati Gaurani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vaidyanatha Shiva Tattva Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we read from the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's canto 4, chapter 30, and it's verse 38, which actually reads, Ayantu sakshat bhagavan bhavasya priyasya sakhyu kshana sangamena sudushchikitsyasya bhavasya mrityur vishaktamam tvadya gatim gatasma. And the translation is, Dear Lord, by virtue of a moment's association with Lord Shiva, who is very dear to you, and who is your most intimate friend, we were fortunate enough to attain you. You are the most expert physician capable of treating the incurable disease of material existence. On account of our great fortune, we have been able to take shelter at your lotus feet. Who knows which story this relates to?
Pracetas.
Pracetas. It is the story of Pracetas. They are very elevated sons of another elevated king, Prachinabarhishat. Those 10 sons of Prachinabarhishat who were Prajapatis, their role was to get as many jivas to bring them to the material world. That's what they did, because it's Satya Yuga. Years, 10,000 of years, they do this austerity. They go down under the ocean into the water for 10,000 years, and they pray to be purified and to do that function in a great way. So in this endeavor, they actually, before they do that, they meet Lord Shiva. And then through whatever Shiva told me, it's called, beautiful, it's described in Bhagavatam, it's called Shiva Gita. Actually, beautiful, you can refer to Srimad Bhagavatam and read this Shiva Gita. So after this, and after doing the austerities, Pracetas get the darshan of the personality of Godhead himself. So through the mercy of Lord Shiva, they're getting direct darshan of Vishnu. And this is what they're saying. So in the moment, like for them, it wasn't like it's a whole chapter like of Shiva Gita, it's very long here in the book. But for them, it felt like a moment, because being around a personality like that purified them so much that they got this darshan of Krishna. So I read from the purport. It's beautiful purport that actually explains everything. I was like, how come I was so confused? It's so clear. Srila Prabhupada explains very beautifully. So the verse reads, the purport reads, it has been said, Harim vina naiva strim taranti. Without taking shelter of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, one cannot attain relief from the clutches of Maya, the repetition of birth, old age, disease, and death. So we all know these are the four sufferings, the four ultimate sufferings that we get through. Yeah, we get born, suppose like if you tell somebody now that birth is evil, they'll be very upset with you. But this is it, like we learn this from scripture, Hare Krishna Prabhu, that birth is not supposed to come down. If somebody's being born, obviously it is auspicious, like for the parents and all that. If it's a devotee family and they do everything right, it is an auspicious, but Hare Krishna Prabhu. But in most occasions, like somebody comes to an atheistic family and then it's not good. So anyway, that's what we're talking about here. The Pracetas received the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the supreme devotee of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's one of the most important points here. That Lord Shiva is the supreme devotee of Lord Vishnu. Vaishnavanam Shambhu. The most exalted Vaishnava is Lord Shiva. Who knows where this verse is coming from? Does anybody know? Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Bhagavatam. Where in Bhagavatam?
Canto 12.
Canto 12. I think it's definitely the last chapter, one of the last verses, one of the few last verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam has like 12 cantos, very, very big. So one of the last verses is that Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu is the most exalted Vaishnava, is Lord Shiva. And those who are actually devotees of Lord Shiva follow Lord Shiva's advice and take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. The so-called devotees of Lord Shiva, who are simply after material prosperity, are in a way deceived by Lord Shiva. He does not actually deceive them, because Lord Shiva has no business deceiving people. But because the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva want to be deceived, Lord Shiva, who is very easily pleased, allows them all kinds of material benedictions. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? If you're asking material benedictions, any material benedictions, Shiva is easily pleased. He gives them to you. But here, like Srila Prabhupada says, this is like, they're being deceived in a sense. Like, it's Lord Shiva is not deceiving them. It's them, they themselves who are deceiving themselves, because they are after material benedictions. And material benedictions, we know, they're what they come and go. They're temporary. there's a car accident, God forbid, you know what I mean? And you'll be asking, oh, please give me some health, Lord Shiva. Shiva gives you health, but if your karma doesn't allow this, and we know who controls karma, right? It's the ultimate, it's the personality of Godhead who controls karma through his expansion, Paramatma, who is in our hearts, in the hearts of every living being. So, if by karma you have not deserved good health, you're not going to have it. I mean, so that's why it is called here that it's like they're deceived. Although Lord Shiva doesn't want to deceive them, but one of his names is Ashutosha, isn't it? The one who is easily pleased. So you worship Shiva, and then you ask for material benediction, and he will give it to you. Point is, maybe that's not what we want to ask from Lord Shiva. So, these benedictions might ironically result in the destruction of the so-called devotees. For instance, Ravana took all material benediction from Lord Shiva. Do we remember? We remember the story, right? Ravana. Do you remember the story of Ravana? It's a famous story. Yes? Can somebody talk? Ramayana. Yes, we have a boy there. Does he know? Hello? Hello? Okay. What's it name? Acharya?
Sure.
What? Do you know Ramayana?
Yes.
Right. Do you know about Ravana?
Yes.
Do you know how many heads he had?
10.
Very good. So, do you know what he did?
He captured Sita and brought her to his kingdom.
And what was the name of the kingdom?
I don't know.
Sri Lanka, wasn't it? Yeah. And who Sita belonged to? Who did she belong to?
Rama?
Rama. And who's Lord Rama?
Lord Rama is a god.
Correct. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So, because Ravana, he prayed to Lord Shiva. He prayed to Lord Shiva. He got everything. He did serve him well. No. He was destroyed, wasn't he?
Yes.
Who destroyed him?
Rama.
Yes, Lord Rama destroyed him. Because the ultimate benediction is not material. He's not material. So this is what it says here. Because of his material power, Ravana became very proud and puffed up, so that he dared kidnap the wife of Lord Ramachandra. In this way he was ruined. To get material benediction from Lord Shiva is not difficult, but actually these are not benedictions. The Pracetas received benediction from Lord Shiva, and as a result, they attained the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This is real benediction. You see? So this is real benediction. This is what we should be asking, praying from Lord Shiva. Give us the real benediction. Give us the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. The gopis also worship Lord Shiva in Vrindavana, and the Lord is still staying there as Gopishvara. Gopishvara, which Lord? Lord Shiva, yeah? The gopis, however, pray that Lord Shiva bless them by giving them Lord Krishna as their husband. There's no harm in worshipping the demigods, provided that one's aim is to return home, back to Godhead. I'll skip a little bit here. It is noted, says Srila Prabhupada, that sometimes in revealed scriptures, Lord Shiva is described as being non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The point is that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are so intimately connected that there is no difference in opinion. The actual fact is, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. The only Supreme Master is Krishna, and all others are his devotees or servants. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the real fact, and there is no difference of opinion between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu in this connection. equal to Lord Vishnu. Of the so-called devotees of Lord Shiva who claim that Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are one. This is strictly forbidden in the Vaishnava Tantra. Yastu Naranayam Devam, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are intimately connected as master and servants. Vishnu is honored and offered obeisances by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. To consider that they are equal is a great offense. They are all equal in the sense that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and all others are his internal servants. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimad Bhagavatam Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachi Shunyavati Bhashati. Okay, so unless you have a question at this point, I'm going to proceed with what I have prepared. And I wanted to cover, first of all, the relationship between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna, and also how does he look like, Lord Shiva? How many forms? How many names? What does the name Shiva mean? And I would like to start with the name of Shiva. Who knows what Shiva actually means? Right, okay. You know, Abhay Giriraj knows. Anybody else? No, okay, Abhay Giriraj, please.
Auspicious.
Yes, Shiva means Shiva is present. He brings auspiciousness. You know, it's very difficult to comprehend because he does not look auspicious. Okay, our little friend here, can you describe Lord Shiva? How does he look?
I don't really know how to describe him.
Well, maybe you can try. How many he has he has any many heads or one head or? Sometimes. Sometimes he has 5. So anyway, okay, you can, right? His face is blue, or maybe his throat is blue.
Yes.
Yes, his throat is blue. Do you know why? You don't know.
Yes.
You do? Tell me.
Yes.
What does this mean? Yes. Okay. There's a very beautiful story also described in Srimad Bhagavatam how Lord Shiva got this blue throat. Because he's very, very merciful. He's very compassionate in this lila of churning of the ocean. When demigods and asuras united because they all wanted amrita, which is amrita, which is nectar, which gives you immortality. Their efforts and started to churn the ocean and wanted to get this amrita to live forever. Yes. Poison started to come out. Poison called Kalakuta, isn't it? Lots of poison. The poison that threatened to devour, like to destroy the whole world, the whole universe. So, what do the demigods do? They go to Lord Shiva. They don't go to Lord Vishnu, because Vishnu says, no, whatever is all these dangerous substances are concerned, go to Shiva. He knows how to deal with them, because we know Shiva is covered with all the snakes, you know what I mean? He knows how to deal with that. He's also, his his entourage, whoever his followers, the strange living beings, you know? All these pishachas and bhutas and all these goblins, horrible beings. And goblins is probably not in the Vedic, but that's as close as we in our European culture can relate to those creatures that follow Shiva all the time. So Vishnu sends them to him, and then they come, and Shiva does absolutely beautiful prayers there. And interesting thing is, in those prayers, the demigods are praying to Lord Shiva as if they're praying to Lord Vishnu. No, they actually call him personality of Godhead. You know? which was very surprising to me until I started to understand, why is this happening? What's going on there? But anyway, the point what I was trying to make was that poison, Kalakuta, it was lots of it, it was just coming out of the ocean in buckets and buckets. And then what Lord Shiva does when he sees that, he asks his wife, who's his wife name? Parvati, or Dasi, Uma. In this case, he calls her Bhavani, it's Satvana Sati's name, and he says, "Oh, my dear Bhavani, just look what's happening. This poison is going to take over the whole world. I should help." And then she knows what her exalted husband can do, and the power that he has. She allows him to go on what he does with his absolute mystic powers. He congests this huge amount of poison so that he could just take it into the palm of his hand and drink it. He drinks his poison, all of it. But he doesn't swallow it like his. Although Shiva, as we learn, he does not have a material body. His body it's a spiritual body. But still, he's wise enough not to swallow this poison. And that's why his name is Nilakantha, blue throat. This becomes one of his features. It's very nice. It just shows how compassionate he is. He's just compassionate. Although, as we know, one of Lord Shiva's functions in this material world is the function of destruction. That's not his role. To, maintain and preserve, but because he's very, very compassionate. When he sees the situation, okay, Lord Krishna wants him to do this, he does that. And it just shows his compassion. So let's talk a little bit about the looks. Okay, the looks. So, as we saw, his entourage is not great, although he's auspicious, his followers are not very auspicious. Again, why? Why do you think that is? Why is he? You remember Daksha, the whole story also in the fourth? Daksha, he was a very, very elevated, but he did not like the fact that Shiva did not get up when Lord Brahma enters the yajna, and then everyone gets up. Shiva doesn't. So, and Daksha then, he didn't like it, and then he cursed it, and then he didn't invite him to the next yajna, he didn't want to give him his share of yajna, he did all sorts of offenses. In the end, he got a goat's head for that, but and he was killed. But anyway, so he's inauspicious. He goes to these crematoriums, and what he does, he just takes this ash, from the dead bodies that were burned, and he smothers himself. He puts all this ash. It's very inauspicious. It's inauspicious. And also all the snakes, always around him. Yes, what's going on there? But that's how he looks. Why do you think that is? And why is he surrounded by all these followers, who are just pishachas and bhutas? Why? Who wants to have a go?
Because every other god doesn't want his followers, such followers. But Shiva is that much compassionate about all of other living organisms that he also said, you can worship me and I am also pleased by you. Excellent. Very, very good answer we got here from a devotee, that he's very compassionate, because all these pishachas and Buddhas, no one wants them near, they just reject. They reject. No one wants to have any association with them. Snakes as well, all this stuff, no one wants to. Lord Shiva is so compassionate, he gives them shelter. So we talked a little bit about the way he
he looks. Also, what does he have in one of his hands? Do we know? Huh? Oh, sorry. Trident. That's right. He has a trident. Don't mess with Shiva. What else? Yes. He has this little drum. He's Shiva. He's the best dancer. But you don't want to get Shiva dance, because when Shiva dances, the whole world gets destroyed. It's called Tandava Nrityu. He has this drum, and he starts falling into ecstasy. No, there's no more like mridangas or harmoniums or kartas playing at this point. He's playing solo, and he dances solo, and he destroys the whole functions of Lord Shiva. But I'm kind of it, and we discussed his followers. Let's talk about the names. How many names of Shiva do we know? Can somebody know? Okay, yes please.
108. 108.
108, okay, can you name a few?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, right. Okay, so Shiva. Huh?
12 names.
12 names, okay, give me a few. Ashutosh.
Krishna, Shiva.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, how about Sadashiva? Have you heard about Sadashiva?
Yeah.
Who is Sadashiva? Is he a different personality? Yes? No, he's not. You see, Shiva, this is why I called this lecture today Shiva Tattva. You know, there's a few tattvas. You know, this Vishnu Tattva, you know, with all these avatars and expansions of Lord Vishnu. They're not different from him, right? They have spiritual bodies, right? While others, Jiva Tattva, us, for example, yes, dogs and tigers and flies and things. So Jiva Tattva, although it's a superior energy, it is superior than material energy, but because it has this, it has this ability to fall under the material and under the influence of material energy. Well, Vishnu Tattva won't, and Shiva Tattva also won't. The interesting thing about Shiva Tattva is that, let's say we have thousands, millions even, of Vishnu Tattva, billions and trillions, one personality Shiva Tattva. Shiva never changes his body. Never. He has a spiritual body and he never changes his body. His wives though, Uma, Parvati, Bhavani, it's all this, it's also interesting, it's the same personality. This is Shakti Tattva. Same personality, but she does with material body, she changes. That's why Shiva, sometimes you can see as a garland with all sorts of skulls. These skulls, it is explained in the scriptures, these are the skulls of his beautiful wives that sort of, come and go because they have material bodies, although it is one and the same. So Parvati or Prakriti, this is one of the external energy. It's Mahamaya. That's what his wife is. That's why. But she's like for the Leela aspect, I suppose. Like she changes the body to make life more interesting, I suppose. But anyway, that's my speculation. I've never read this in the scripture. So Sadashiva. Sadashiva is the form of Lord Shiva in the spiritual world. That's what Sadashiva does. Interesting function of Lord Sadashiva is helps Lord Vishnu to create this material world. And how? It described numerous occasions in Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from Canto 2, that the Lord Vishnu takes and breaks and houses, or no, it just glances. It just glances. Where does he look at? he looks at the Pradhana. You see, and in the form of Mahavishnu, Karnataka Vishnu is one of the powerful Purusha avatars of Krishna. He lies down on the Karna ocean. Because this is the time arrives for the material world to be created again. We know it's created cyclically, Now it's like the world is created, destroyed, again created, destroyed, created, destroyed. So let's say this is a time when Lord Mahavishnu lies. That's as far as he goes in terms of creation. When he looks, because Lord Vishnu never gets in touch with material energy. It's inferior energy, it is his energy, but he does not get in touch with material energy. We know it's described in Bhagavatam when Maya, in the trance of Vyasadeva, who wrote this scripture, she's behind. Vyasadeva sees in his trance, he sees everything, and Yogamaya and all the personals of Vishnu. Maya is standing at a distance behind. She's very shy, she does not want to look. She's very, she's doing her service, she's a devotee. Mahamaya is a devotee, but she has this unthankful task of keeping us in prison of this material world. So Mahavishnu looks, and when he looks at the Pradhana. You know what Pradhana is? Where all the basic principal elements, including gunas, are present, and they're very in harmony. There's no absolute balance, nothing's happening. But when Mahavishnu glances, his glance at the Pradhana, and when everything is, nothing's happening there, this glance is actually becomes Lord Sadashiva. So Sadashiva, he has this function of a look, and then with this look, Lord Sadashiva actually brings all the jivas that have been in Mahavishnu's belly for a long time before the previous, after the previous destruction. They've been lying there, and those jivas who still want to enjoy in this material world, right? So with that glance, Lord Sadashiva awakens them up, and then also he brings the time factor as well, like Krishna. Mahavishnu brings the time factor also into the Pradhana, and then all the gunas start, fighting each other, and then the whole world gets created. So that's the function of Lord Shiva, the Lord Sadashiva. But as I said, that Mahavishnu never touches the material energy. And it's interesting, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we read, there's a reference to Vayu Purana, where it says that Lord Sadashiva, so the name is Hara. Have you heard the name Hara? Also Lord Shiva, sometimes called Hara. Function of Mahavishnu. Shambhu. Have you heard the word Shambhu? The name Shambhu. Shambhu. So Shambhu is another form. And we read Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Once Sadashiva connects, when he touches Prakriti, he touches the material energy, then he becomes Shambhu. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls Shambhu a projection of spiritual consciousness onto the material plane. I know it sounds a bit philosophical, but onto the material plane. That's Rudra, right? You're familiar with that name? Who is Rudra? Is there only one Rudra? In the real world. But again, this doesn't mean that it's a bit artificial, this, like Sadashiva, Shambhu is only spiritual. In Srimad Bhagavatam, these names are interchangeable. Because as I said, it is one and the same tattva, it is one and the same personality, but different functions. So, an interesting thing is that, as we also know, that Lord Shiva is also, he's controlling the false ego. as we know, unfortunately, the whole material world starts with false ego. If we didn't have a false ego, we wouldn't be here. Because what the false ego does, if you get a body of a dog, you're a happy dog. You love your body. You know, when we get a body of, let's say, like, I love my body, but I'm a female. I very much associate myself with this fully, and it's very difficult for me to realize and to understand I'm not this body. I'm not. But Lord Shiva is great enough. He can do this very, very easily because he's not attached to his body. We know this beautiful lila where Lord Shiva wants to attend the rasa dance of Krishna, and this is how he got his name, Gopeshwar, actually. It was a beautiful story. Does anyone know this story? How Lord Shiva became a girl. You don't know the story? That's a beautiful story. You do. Very good. So, just briefly, I'll touch it because we don't have much time. So on one occasion, Lord Shiva, is this a devotee? You know, he just wants to, it's the best lila, it's a rasa lila, I want to see it, how these jivas, these devotees are dancing with Krishna, that's the best thing. And then he comes to Vrindavan and he finds, he knows, he has mystic powers, he knows that the rasa dance is going to take place. He comes there, of course there's this gopis, gopis saying, no, there's only one man in this lila. And we know who he is, right? So if you want to be in this lila, you have to become a girl. And I would like to hear the men in this room, like, who would be able to do that? Who would be able to say, okay, I'm just going to be a girl for a while. Will anyone risk it, I wonder? Yeah, I'm hearing no. It's very difficult. It's called Purusha Abhiman. Purusha Abhiman. It's our way we feel, I'm Purusha, I'm a man. We actually have this interesting way I'm from Russia myself, by the way, and I didn't know my name's Govinda Dasi, sorry, I was a little bit nervous about the stuff because so we have this Russian speaking chat where we read spiritual books and discuss, and anyway, there's one devotee and he's always like, for him this Purusha Abhiman is like, he holds so tightly to it, and so many discussions we had over it, so many, and I was quoting like crazy from scripture here and there, everywhere. For him, he just cannot. Well, the Lord Shiva does. Because he wanted to be in Rasa Leela, he comes, he said, okay, but how do we do that? And then Yogamaya, Purnamasi, in Vrindavan, Yogamaya becomes, she takes the form of Purnamasi. Have you heard Purnamasi? She has the form of an elderly gopi, a Brahmana. She's very beautiful, very young looking, but her hair is all grey, but she's very beautiful. She's very powerful, everyone loves her, everyone respects her, everyone runs in Vrindavan, like as Purnamasi says. So she says, okay, like you can bathe in this lake and then. So Shiva goes and he comes out of Manjari. You know, Manjari, who knows the average? Manjari is a little girl, yeah, little girls are helping the gopis, the Sakyas, Radharani's friends, to dress nicely and then to arrange all the leelas with Krishna. But who are Manjaris? What are their roles? No? You don't know Manjaris? What are their age, roughly? Can you guess? Yes, Divya.
10, 12 years.
Actually younger than that. Actually,
6 years.
yeah, from 7 to 9 roughly, Manjaris are very, very young girls. And he becomes a Manjari, and gopis come and they, nice. They always welcome, the gopis are very nice, and all the Manjaris, they come and they welcome her, they dress her up so nicely. She is stunningly beautiful, and she joins the dance. And then Krishna sees this new Manjari, it's very beautiful, and then he stops the dance, and then he says, well, who is this? And of course, like Krishna knows, so he's very appreciated. Lord Shiva renounced his Purusha Abhiman to become a girl just to join the rasa dance. But anyway, and then Radharani of course gets angry because Krishna calls her Gopeshwara. Ishvara is the controller, right? The controller of the gopis. This little girl gets this name. Radharani gets annoyed, like, "This new girl, and you never called me Gopeshwara." And she goes, and she wants to leave. Krishna grabs her by the hand and says, "Stop, that's Lord Shiva. That's Lord Shiva." So anyway, that's how he's called Gopeshwara, one of his names. The Lord Shiva is Gopeshwara. Story, I liked it because of his Purushabhiman. You know, like I have a husband, you know, I know what Purushabhiman is. I say it has to be like that. Right, so maybe I think the most important thing, and this is, I'm going to conclude. I have like 9 pages here. It's beautiful. I had beautiful meditation on Lord Shiva. But I think the most important thing is to say here about Lord Shiva is he is, as it says in the end, we already mentioned, he's Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. He is the best of the devotees. And I think this is, if you bring this home with you, I think this would be very, very nice, because that's the main thing actually about Shiva, that he's the best. He's the best devotee. So we'll discuss a little bit about the dhams. Yeah, we do know where he lives actually. Where does he live? Okay. Huh? Kailash. Kailash. That's one of his abodes.
Vitalok.
Huh?
He also lives in the Atal Vital, the town.
Vitalaloka?
Yeah.
Where?
With Uma.
With Uma, Vitalaloka. I've never heard about that.
The gold that we get comes from there.
Okay, interesting. So,
Sutal.
and then, have you ever heard about Maheshtama?
Yes.
Where is it?
Vaikuntha.
Maheshtama is actually, it's between Vaikuntha, between the spiritual world and between the material world. There's Viraja river, right? that divides them, and then above that, under the spiritual world, there's Maheshtama. This is where Shiva, Sada Shiva, Ushambhu, they say. So Kailash also, it's this is where he resides in the material world. And then also Sada Shiva lives in one of the Vaikuntha planets. Have you ever heard about Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami? He explains, he's called it Sada Shiva Loka. Sada Shiva Loka. He's one of the Vaikuntha planets. So Lord Shiva is high up there. He's very, very exalted personality. So, and of course, there's quite an unusual form of worship. We know that it is the sex organs of Shiva and Durga are being worshipped. They're called Shiva Linga. And this is a symbol of what Shiva does in the material world. He's the father, actually. You know, like in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna says, Aham Bija Pradapita, yeah, an expansion of Krishna eventually. But it is his role, he's the father of the universe, and his very, very powerful wife, Durga, one of the names, yeah, she is the Mahamaya herself. And they are the ones, this is a couple that controls the universe. They have the keys. Sometimes this universe is called the prison, but Durga actually means fort. In Sanskrit, isn't it? It means fort. And somebody has the keys. And that's why it's easy, you know, to get the material benefits they can give. Material benefits they can give. But ultimately, I think there's 2 benedictions that Shiva can give. One is called Sakapata, and it's actually a material benediction. It's not real, as we discussed. And then it's Akapata or Nishkapata. This is what the material benedictions that Shiva gives to his devotees, which he gave to Pracetas, for example. So what else did we not discuss? So, okay, so what we discussed? Oh yes, an interesting thing is that Lord Shiva has his own Vaishnava Sampradaya. Does anyone know the name? Giriraj Prabhu?
Rudra Sampradaya.
Rudra Sampradaya. So Rudra Sampradaya is the Vaishnava Sampradaya. How many Vaishnava Sampradayas there is? 4. What? 4 Sampradayas. So one of them, actually the oldest one, is the Rudra Sampradaya. So it is said in the scriptures as always we have this Brahma Sampradaya. What other Sampradaya we have? Shri Sampradaya, or Shri Lakshmi Sampradaya, yeah?
Kumar Sampradaya.
4 Kumara Sampradayas. There's the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, and the oldest in terms of, like for us, obviously they existed forever, these Sampradayas. But with a particular kalpa, they get revived, and there's particular acharyas that appear to revive those Sampradayas and to teach. So, Rudra Sampradaya, do you know who is the Acharya of that Sampradaya? Do we know?
Vishnu Swami.
Vishnu Swami, yes, Sarvagya, sometimes it's called Vishnu Swami. This is the oldest, about 2000 before Christ, very old. Do we know what is the name, the contemporary name? Because it's been so long ago, more than 4,000 years ago. Very little have left from what Vishnu Swami was teaching. But do we know what is the current name of this Sampradaya? It's Pushtimar. It's by Vallabhacharya. So who's a contemporary of Lord Chaitanya? So it's called Pushtimar. So like when Lord Chaitanya actually appeared to all the acharyas of all 4 sampradayas, it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He appeared to the acharyas of all these sampradayas and foretold that he was going to come himself, and he was going to bring this to start this sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya, and that he was going to take two most important things from every sampradaya. So from Rudra Sampradaya or Vallabha Sampradaya, he took this Pushtimar, this nurturing of your bhakti, Lata Vicha, and also the spontaneous raga, the spontaneous bhakti. I think I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to say. Maybe there's questions, because we have 5 minutes left. Yes, please.
I'm aware of some people that are very much into devotees of Shiva, and they say the Shiva mantra. And myself, I'm like, well, you invented worshiping Shiva.
Well, it's actually described in scriptures here, Bhagavatam, that Shiva takes offense if he is being worshipped as the supreme personality of Godhead. But if he is worshipped, and this is what Vaishnavas should definitely do, we should bow down in front of every Shiva Linga, touch with our head, touch the ground, have to be very, very respectful, because he's the best Vaishnava, he's the best devotee. So he is being worshipped as a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Then they will get, as I was describing this, he will get the ultimate benediction, he will get bhakti. So there's so that is the difference, And in fact, actually, this is described in Padma Purana, that in the very, very, in the beginning of the Vedic times even, Lord Vishnu asked Lord Shiva to come and establish this worship of him, Lord Shiva, as a supreme personality of Godhead. And the reason being that at the time, asuras and suras, they always knew that, right? But asuras were actually worshipping Vishnu. And because they were worshipping Vishnu, they became extremely powerful. And suras, the demigods, could not do anything. Because asuras became so strong. So, and then demigods are coming to Lord Vishnu and saying, oh, please help us, we can't do anything with them. And then Lord Vishnu asked Lord Shiva to establish this false worship of himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shiva, because he's very, very personal, merciful, and also he's a devotee, he takes this unthankful task and he does this because I believe this is humble. But then, of course, there will be a second act of this drama already in our days, like when he comes as Lord Shiva Shankaracharya to also preach. Again, this was the time when it was needed, when the Mayavadi philosophy became so powerful, Buddhist philosophy became powerful, and Lord Shiva Shankaracharya's role was to bring back a worship of Vedanta, and that's what he does as well again, because he's a devotee, he does as he's told. I don't know if I answered your question. You're nodding. Yes, okay. Hare Krishna. Any more questions?
Kind of related. Thank you for the talk. Kind of related. It said at the beginning that to escape the material world and four miseries, you have to take the shelter from the Supreme Personality.
Yes.
So like, would a Jew or a Muslim or a Christian who worships their God and are very conscious of their God by that name, when they go, they'll come back? Or will they go back to...
Well, you see, it's in Bhagavad Gita, like Krishna says, like, whoever you think of, like in the, in the last moment of your life, before your last breath, that's where you go, If you think about Jesus Christ, you go and you start with Jesus Christ, wherever Jesus Christ is, or wherever Muhammad is, you know what I mean? If that exists, that is. And I believe they do, but I don't want to get into this whole religious conversation or discussion, but it is, if it's true, you see, if a devotee, an Islam devotee or a Christian devotee, if they're true, if they really sincerely believe, then, they're elevated souls, and actually there's no difference. There's no difference. The point is that not all of them do, you see. It's like it's like exactly like karma kanda, they come and they ask something, buy a little candle, please give me this, give me a good son, give me a good wife, But at least in the Vedic scriptures, the difference between karma kanda, let's say, and the worship, material worship like that, what I just described, is that at least we were doing things Vedically, by the scriptures, then persons get elevated. But when they do, I don't know what they do, then, there's no elevation. Because it's all, after all, it's about elevation of consciousness, Not about, please grant me my material desires, and then I will come and I will give you some money. That's what pretty much religion is these days. There's no elevated consciousness, no notion of God, because they don't really know who God is. Ask them to describe who God is. How does he look? What does he do? Where does he live? Does he have a wife? Is he a person? They can't answer any of these questions. So if you don't know God, what do you believe in? What do you believe? Usually then it's some impersonal concoction then. But again, there's some very sincere, like Catholics and Christians and Muslims, that they know their God's all right, and they have this connection. So they can break the samsara very quickly because they're sincere. You happy with this answer?
Sincerity is the most important thing.
Yes, yes. And faith, sincerity, in your faith. Yeah. You have to know what you believe. You have to know. What is it? Who is your God? Yeah, I think our time is up. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Gota Prabhu.
Somebody who asked on 5 separate occasions
Yes.
for a good husband,
Mm-hmm.
and she ended up marrying 5 of Pandavas. Good example.
Yes, a very good example.
Very good example.
It's a very, thank you, Prabhu. It's a very good example. Yes, Draupadi, she wanted her husband so much. And she said, I want a husband 5 times. So Shiva gave her 5 husbands. So he is easily pleased. Lord Shiva is easily pleased. Thank you, Prabhu. Any more questions? I thought I'd have a million of questions. So shall we stop here then? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
हर प्राइस गोविंदा माता जी की
Jai!
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai!
we want to go out.
Krishna
सभी लोग घुट के प्रणाम कर सकते हैं. Everyone can go down and pay obeisances. जय विष्णु पाद परम परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिनाथ स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की. ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की. गुरु शिष्य परंपरा की. वृंदावन छठ गोस्वामी वृंद की. प्रेम से गोश्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम गुण राधा गुण गिरि गोवर्धन की. गंगा माई यमुना माई की. ब्रज क्षेत्र श्री वृंदावन धाम की. मथुरापुरी धाम की. नवदीप शहर श्री मायापुर धाम की. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी रथ यात्रा महा महोत्सव की. श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की. ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की. वृंद देवी भक्ति देवी की. तुलसी महारानी की. संवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की. युग धर्म पतित पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So, Hare Krishna everyone. On behalf of ISKCON Dublin, I would like to thank you all and welcome you all in weekly Sunday Love Feast program. Especially, I would like to mention our today's speaker, Her Grace Govinda Dasi Mataji and Abhay Prabhu for his kirtan. So let's say 3 times Hari Bol for Mataji. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. I would like to thank our today's sponsor for the prasad, Akhil Prabhu and Anshika Mataji. We will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra together for seeking blessings from Shri Shri Pancha Tattva, so that they both can get their blessings and be always engaged in their service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I would like to congratulate you all on the special day of Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Rath Yatra, which is today. So today is the auspicious Rath Yatra ceremony in Jagannath Puri and many cities of the world. But in Dublin, we are celebrating very big festival of Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Rath Yatra on 4th of August 2024, which is just few weeks ahead. So you all are invited, and kindly invite your friends and knowns on behalf of temple. So we have a flyer in our WhatsApp groups. We are continuously sharing. If you are not in WhatsApp group, you can join the WhatsApp group. For Prasad, we just released free tickets so that we can have count and can prepare appropriate Prasad. Kindly book your tickets and your friends as well, so that we can have correct estimate and prepare right amount of Prasad. So soon after Janmashtami, we will be having our very big festival, which is Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav ki Jai! So soon, this week, we will be releasing free tickets for Janmashtami program as well. So you all can book those tickets, because first 300 tickets will be free. After that, there will be very nominal charge, just to bear the expenses of the booking. So kindly book your tickets as early as possible, so that we can plan ahead and we can make all the required arrangements. Hare Krishna. So now we will be singing Narsimha Aarti, and then we will be having Prasad in the restaurant. Mataji will be singing, and we need few volunteers, maybe 3-4 devotees can go down in advance and can help in preparing for Prasad. Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
If my voice gives down,
Keep it simple. Then I cannot.
Those who are leaving, they can just wait for 5 minutes and can take Prasad and then can leave after that if they want.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Jai. Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hari Hari.